Hi folks, I welcome you back to Global Education Zone. And in this particular episode of data processing for secondary school SS1 to 3, and this happens to be the last episode. So in this episode, we're going to be dealing with career options in data processing. Now, these career options in data processing, they involve the different career options associated with computer usage, and you have the functions of each of the professionals. We'll also talk about the qualities of good professionals. We'll also talk about the computer professional bodies. So these are different concepts that involve computer career options. Now, computers have become so ubiquitous in our environment that there are a lot of jobs associated with them. So, new applications are introduced every day, new software and new hardware, and so on and so forth. So, and the use of computer technologies is also common in all type of organizations, in academia, in research, industry, government, private, and business organizations. And even if you are not able to kind of make you cannot you are not able to make software, you are not able to produce hardware and software. There will also be jobs for you if you are able to utilize this hardware and utilize this software. Now you can see that the computer field is very large. It consists of people who are producing these computer devices and computer products, and there are people who have the skills necessary to utilize this product. So, but for both classes of individuals, there's a large um, um, job market for them. So they have a large job market for their skills. So there are different of this kind of jobs like programming and software development. So under this, we have system analyst. Now, as a system analyst, you are required to determine an organization's need and design programs to meet them. So the system analyst just when you are in an organization, for example, if an organization has need of maybe assuming I own a vlogging company, so and this vlogging company is used for let's say educating people on YouTube, on Instagram, and all the rest. And imagine that I need an application that helps to push my videos outside, and people can watch those videos on that application. So you just be the kind of person that will look at the need, and you try to tailor the product to meet the need of that company. So that's the function of a system analyst. We also have the system consultant. Now, this system consultant, it is he or she is to work under contract to install or configure hardware or software. So in this case, maybe when you have a cafe and then you are just installing and you're just buying your new computers, you need a system consultant to help you to configure and install these computers, to help you to download the to help you to install and update your operating system, to help you to connect them to the internet, and to help you to install a feasible and useful computer network for your computer system. We also have the software engineer. He also works with other software professionals, and he designs and writes complex computer programs that solve different aspects of human daily life. So basically, this software engineer is basically it's kind of like a broad field. It involves any aspect that involves basically making software that are tailored to people's needs. Then we also have the system programmer. The system programmer is used to design. He or she designs and writes programs that interface with a computer's low-level operating system. And then this system programmer is they make use of these low-level operating programming languages like assembly language. They make use of assembly language like all these languages that help to communicate on the lower level of the computers. So these are used, they are often used in many complex applications for database when you need an assembly language to do something very complex. So that is the work of a system programmer. Also have the database analyst. And the database analyst his function is to design and create programs used to collect, maintain, and analyze data needed by businesses, governments, and so on and so forth. So a database analyst basically collects data, and he kind of collects data for all these blue chip companies like Google. So they have data analysts, and this data analyst they make use of data software, data analyzing software, and this data analysis software they have different tools that simplify and process the analytics of the data. So these analytics they are used as the information for which you can draw suitable conclusions. So this is a very very big field. Data analysts they are very kind of at the top because nowadays we have a lot of data in our world. So we have a lot of data. We have a lot of companies that are dealing with data. They need data. They need to process data. They need to store this data. They need to they need to retrieve this data. So data analyst is always there to perform all these functions. We also have the artificial intelligence programmer. Now, this artificial intelligence programmer, their duty is to apply the principles of artificial intelligence to design and implement systems that perform complex tasks. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, it also has an integration with computer programming. You don't really have to deal with computer science before you have to be an artificial intelligence programmer. So you also have this mechatronics engineering. It also has to do with artificial intelligence, and it deals with the hardware layer of artificial intelligence. So this mechatronics has to do with the hardware layer of artificial intelligence, where you design the hardware of computer, and then you have the artificial intelligence programmer that kind of design software that will suit the hardware and that will work with and integrate with other computers all around the world. So applications include expert systems that apply rules to making decisions. So that's kind of like it's kind of like your assistant. The Google Assistant is an example of an artificial intelligence program. So after Google Assistant, you also have the driverless cars. So you need all these artificial intelligence programmers to design the programs that will suit the function to which they were made for. So we also have this kind of programs, they give the robots the ability to see and understand objects. So basically, this artificial intelligence like to be able to understand human facial expressions and emotions. So these are kind of the functions of all these programs, and they make use of they make use of quantities, they make use of concepts, they make use of parameters that are used to know that interpret data. So these are kind of programs that are very complex programs, and they are still being developed in our today's world. So basically, we also have the scientific application programmer. So these are examples of programmers that work on applications like MATLAB, CAD, AutoCAD, and all the rest. So they basically work on all these applications, and they improve them, and they make applications that can simplify the procedure of science and other experiments for scientists, for physicists, for engineers, for mathematicians. So all these and technicians, they often simplify the theory and experimental aspects of their work. And then these programs, they work closely with the scientists and engineers to write programs that will assist them in their daily work. So that is why we have a lot of improvement today because of all these programs. So instead of, for example, we want to talk about numerical processes, numerical control, CNC machines. So these are computers that basically work with experiments and make it easier for us to control the processes of all these experiments. They make it easier for scientists to draw conclusions and to be able to process conclusions so that they can derive useful information. Then we also have the user interface designer. So this user interface designer is kind of it works with other computer professionals, especially your web development and your application development programmers. So they basically assist the user to have an integrated an integrated interaction with the computer. So I want to talk about this user interface. They design the menus, icons, and other features of your physical screen. So like the screen on which you're watching me now, I can bet on anything that you are watching me from a screen. I don't know, it could be a television, it could be a phone screen, a laptop screen, and whatsoever screen it may be. But basically, the way you see me, the way it appears, and the way it actually seems to feel to you, and the way you hear, it's basically affected by your user interface designer. Then we also have the user interface designer has to be a person that has a lot of empathy. So with computer users and artistic sense of composition. We also have the embedded system application program. So this embedded system applications program, they design and develop applications for appliances and entertainment products like your PDA, your mobile phones, and MP3 players. So they designed all these kind of like the firmware and all the rest. So these are ones that are kind of they deal with complex programs that help all your devices to work. So that, and these embedded systems, they are applied in cars, they are applied in small devices, they are applied in devices that you won't have even imagined that they are computers at all. So kind of like your chips, they are like chips. So they design the programs in those chips, like your Arduino. So it's kind of like an embedded system that can work as an embedded system. So the kind of program that works in it, the kind of computer program that it operates on, is designed by an embedded system application programmer. Then we also have, apart from this, all these careers, they are related to programming and software. We also have other careers these that are not related to programming and software. So example of careers that are not related to programming and software, they are the information systems and operations and management. So information systems have to do with systems that work with process data. So when you have your information and you have the large amount of it, you need to have people on ground to coordinate and organize that data. So we have the electronic data processing auditor. Now this person, he closely examines data processing your operations to guard against loss through mistakes, carelessness, or fraud. So it kind of prevents loss of data. They also have the database administrator. Now this is a very large and interesting role, because this kind of person, it takes overall responsibility for the usage, the accuracy, and the basically the availability of your data. So that's function of database administrator, and this is a very important role in database processing. We also have the system administrator, is responsible for managing the operations of a multi-user computer program or system so that it runs reliably and meets users' needs. We also have the system security specialist, we have the management and IT consultant, information systems manager, and so on and so forth. They are like there are a lot of tasks, there are a lot of roles that can be performed in the subfield of information systems, operations, and management. So you can also check out the functions of all these professionals if you are interested in going in any of these professions, like computer security. So then you have to dig into cryptography and hacking, so ethical hacking. You have to have some knowledge in that. So that aside, then the third subfield of data processing, which we'll be talking about in this video, will be on telecommunications and networking. Now, when we want to talk about telecommunication, it is basically the communication from one place in the world to another by using of telecommunication and devices. So now we have a network engineer. So this network engineer is kind of a person that installs your network. It kind of connects the wires together, connects the devices like your switches, your hubs, your router, and all the rest. So it plans for the installation or expansion of local or wide area networks. So these are very useful today when we have cloud computing in operation. So these network engineers, they are very useful in planning the expansion and the installation of all these networks. We also have the network administrator. Now, some while ago I talked about database administrator, right? Now we also have the network administrator. It works just like your database administrator, but this time around, your network administrator is a person that takes overall responsibility for the operation and planning of a local or wide area network. So that is the network administrator. We also have other fields of data processing like the computer science research. So this computer science research, it is we have the computer scientist, we have the computer science professor, we have the artificial intelligence researcher under computer science research. So this is a fourth subfield we're talking about here. And then we have the data miner, we have the bioinformation specialist, we have the medical imaging specialist. So this is all on computer science. And there's one aspect of this that I like talking about, which is the human computer interaction. So this is basically an area that is still under research, that's still developing today, and it involves the interaction between human beings and computers. And that's where we have the user interface. And also we have the researches that are ongoing in ergonomics to make sure that human beings are able to interact seamlessly with their devices. We also have the fifth subfield of careers in data processing are internet, web and internet. Now the web and internet, they are very important aspects, because without the web, your computer will just be on its own. But the internet is kind of the one that connects it. It kind of gives a power to the computers, and it strengthens them by giving them a power in number, strength in numbers, so to say. So now basically you have some some career options in the web and internet. You have the internet applications programmer, so it programs internet applications, and this has also come to be seen as your web apps. So your internet applications, they are your web apps. They also can be designed by your web developer who works with programming languages like HTML, HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, and also Python, SQL, NoSQL, and so on and so forth. So basically, we also have the internet consultants, we have the webmaster, internet advertising designer, and so on and so forth. So that's the fifth subfield of careers in data processing. The sixth subfield is graphics and multimedia. Now, when we talk about graphics and multimedia, we have to talk about animation, special effects, and the multimedia developer. That's what we talk about, the graphics designer. So these are people that basically they sit behind the computer and then they design how the computer should work. So basically, these are graphics designers, and they use design and programming skills to create interactive multimedia products that combine sound, images, and text. So we have the seventh subfield, which is training and support. Now, in this training and support, we have people who are technical support representatives. So these are people who have a lot of knowledge in computers, and they basically apply their knowledge to teach others, they help others to integrate and work with computers. They involve trainers and software applications programmer. We have the technical writer, and so on and so forth. Then finally, the eighth subfield of career options in data processing is computer industry specialists. Now, this kind of people, they help people to they are system integrators. They integrate, they combine computer hardware with software to form a variety of manufacturers' products. We also have the IT recruitment consultants. So these are people that obtain the people that are suitable for different jobs for in an IT company. We also have the IT sales professional and journalists, computer related publications. So these are people like the kind of individuals that are members of the IEEE. So they are basically people that publish all these computer related journals, and they kind of educate the public on computer use. So now, with all these fields, I'm very sure you might be very confused now. You might be like, okay, wow, these are very, very numerous number of fields, right? And you don't know which one to go for. Now, if you are confused, there are some qualities that you need to know, that you need to possess. So if you see yourself having any of these qualities, you know that you know the career that are suitable for you. An example of those is the ability to multitask. So you must be able to I've seen situations where people kind of like, and even using myself as an example, at times, right now, I'm vlogging and I'm also making use of laptop. I'm using a laptop, a camera, and my phone at the same time. So basically, I'm recording the video on laptop, and then the audio, the camera is actually recording my facial movements. So, and then we also have the phone. The phone is processing the, the video so that it will be compiled together. So that's why you can see the video, and then you can see the overlay of my face on top. Then you can hear the audio, and so on and so forth. So this is kind of like an example of multitasking. So it is one thing that a computer professional should be able to have. We also have the adaptability, analytic skills. You need to have the aptitude for mathematics, because when it comes to computer programming, there are some complex calculations that you need to be able to work. So it involves sometimes discrete maths. We also have the attention to detail, commitment to learning, communication skills, memorization skills, problem solving, troubleshooting capabilities, and so on and so forth. These are the various skills that are needed if you need to go for computer professional course. So these are various skills that you need to have. And basically, I guess this is as far as we can go in this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next episode. I hope you've gained one or two things from all these concepts I've introduced you to. So you can also attempt these questions in the comment section. You can give me your feedback on what you think on this topic, and don't forget to to watch other videos in this channel so as to gain more as much as possible. Thanks for watching.